And I thought we'd do something a little bit different for the live tonight. Let me grab my phone so I can see the comments coming in.
Oh yeah.
Um, okay. Different for the live tonight. Okay, got my phone right here so I can see who joins and when they join. Um, I will tag you right quick in the thing, and then if you want to tag anyone else, you can. Or if you could do me a favor and share it on your page right quick.
You said share it on my page.
Yeah, share it on my page on your page.
Okay.
Hey,
It's on
what
my
you
page.
doing here? No, not on it, friend. Um, hold on. It's on Facebook, friend. It's on Facebook.
Oh, I see it. I see it
And
now.
I thought it's on Facebook.
I got you.
Mine. Sorry, y'all. We trying to get that shit together for you. Anyways, okay. So like I said, I thought we'd do something different today with our live. Uh, turn that volume down, Erica. Okay. We are going to get into some BDSM. We are going to get into some kinky stuff. And hey, listen, if this is your speed, then go ahead and share it on your page. If it's not, it's okay. It's cool. We just sit here and enjoy with us. So I want to introduce Urban Kinkster. Urban Kinkster is here with us, and she is the authority, the foremost authority in what the hell we're talking about on tonight. Okay, and so while I will be maybe asking a few questions here and there, most of the time I will be ceding the stage to her because it just makes sense. Let me cut this down a little bit. Okay, that's better. Okay. Is that too dark? Do I need to lighten up a little bit?
No,
Or
that's good.
all right, cool. Okay. Um, so okay, okay, you're already starting with knives, obviously. So let me just go ahead and ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself. Um, tell us about you. Tell us about what you do. I don't like that. Okay, go ahead.
That was cool. Well, first of all, thank you for having me today. Very excited. This is going to be a very interesting audience, hopefully, and I got some stuff to tell you. So hopefully we can keep
Yay.
it going. Um,
Okay.
I'm Urban Kinkster. Everybody knows me as Urban Kinkster or Mistress Urban.
Urban Kinkster, y'all. Urban Kinkster.
In the flesh. I can be found some everywhere, but I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Everyone calls me Mistress. I am known as a dominatrix or dominant, or for those who like the feminine versions, Dome, which I don't really give a damn either way, but okay. So Mistress Urban is fine, or ma'am, those things work, but Urban will do just fine. I'm Urban Kinkster, and what I like to do is educate people on BDSM and kink. That's important. And one of the things that I like to do is travel. So those two things combined into one allows me to travel and educate people on not only kink and BDSM, but black kink and BDSM. That's what's
Yeah, that's
important.
the thing. We always hear about it with, other races, but not necessarily our race. So that's why I was so excited to have you on.
Absolutely, absolutely. We don't hear a whole lot about it. We always see the views of white kink and the wild houses and things that happen in the white neighborhoods. But we are here, and we have a very large POC, people of color community that we all kink together and have conferences and
You said you
raise
kink
kids.
together?
Oh
Y'all
man, we
kink
kink together.
together?
A family that keeps together. God damn it, we are here. And I mean, in any given time when we have these conferences, it's about 250, 300 of us. And we do takeover
Wow.
videos, and we're dressed like this or less.
Stand up so we can see how you dress. Let us see.
Let's see. See if I can get a good viewpoint of what I'm wearing. All right.
Okay, turn to the side. Turn to the side. Take like a few steps forward. Take a step forward.
Step forward.
No, well, this way.
That way.
Yeah.
That way.
Okay, now turn to the side. Turn to the side.
So I wear a lot of corsets because they're comfortable, of course.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But that's what I do. Corsets. Corsets are always fun. And then you have to have the dopest shoes of them all. I usually keep my shoes on the flat. I can kick those up there for you. And we're gonna bring that down.
Okay. Okay.
So I always gotta stay flat with my shoes.
Okay.
But really about kink, I think what's really fun, and in noticing all of these things and talking about all these things, is understanding that it's a lifestyle where you get to be yourself. You get to be who you want to be, who you're comfortable with being, and being able to encourage that among the masses of us. Welcome, welcome, ladies. I see some people joining. Welcome.
So, I agree, Lena. Yes. So, listen. Here's the thing. I feel like you should tell us the difference first of all, because you mentioned specifically kinky, right?
Hmm.
So, tell us the difference between kinky and like the more hardcore shit, or is kinky hardcore as well? I don't really know. Hey, Kia Caramel Crunch Montgomery. You gotta
Hey,
say the whole shit. You gotta say the whole
sis.
shit.
Okay, so the difference here is understanding the difference between kink and BDSM. Kink is merely the fascination or the attraction to abnormal things that bring you pleasure. From being choked and having your hair pulled and being grabbed and being humiliated and being called a bitch. Like all of these things play into kink, right?
Okay.
Right. Everybody like those things, right? Easy to relate to. Now, when you start talking about BDSM, we're talking about kink and then what we call power exchange. That's when you start to really hone in on a lot of the labels and the tops and bottoms and things like that, dominance and submissives. That's where the dominant and submissive stuff comes from. It's all in BDSM. It's
Okay.
about someone wanting to relinquish control and someone wanting to take on that control.
Okay. Okay. So you do it all, clearly. Do you favor one more than the other? Is there a specialty that you just like, oh, I just really get off on this. Like, this is my shit.
There's a few different things that I really I enjoy that I make very much public, especially because I'm public with everything that I do kinky. I love impact play. That's no, I don't want to do none of that. There's impact play basically when you're allowing when something else is hitting the flesh, like something else is hitting the skin. So either it's a hand getting a spanking or a flogging or a paddle going against parts of your body. That's impact play when something is actually directly hitting the flesh. That's
Mhm.
something that I really enjoy doing. The motivation behind it,
Right.
yeah, it is. It's called scat play. That is such a hard limit. That's a good term that everyone's going to need to know. Hard limits. Hard limits.
Hard limits.
Hard limits. Hard limits say I don't want and I'm not interested in doing that shit there.
Right. Right. Right.
Really.
Okay. Okay. So kinky is definitely a softer core level than, okay. So what is it about impact play or, hitting or whatever? What is it about that does it for you? Like,
Okay, so to understand impact play, you have to understand that most people identify um, with a couple different things. Either you're going to be a masochist, someone who enjoys pain and pleasure, that
Mhm.
exchange. And there's going
Mhm.
to be a sadist, someone who enjoys inflicting that type of pleasure. And so, with that being said, what I enjoy most about it is being able to deliver like that intensity that someone is really looking for.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. And because I mean, I like being physical. Shit, I don't know, 5'8", 200 pounds. I'm a Chicagoan. Have a big personality. I'm aggressive, and I don't mind hitting people. I don't know, but the flogging that I like to do is not something there where you just kind of like pick up some tools and you start beating people up. These are things that you actually have to practice and learn and master.
Okay. There's something that I want to ask you because like you mentioned this earlier and I didn't go into it because I wanted to save it for the live.
Hmm.
You said that when you engage in impact play, the woman busts a nut every time.
Oh yeah.
Just from smacking, flogging, you're gonna have to explain that. Like,
Okay, so the intensity behind it is, uh,
wait, before you answer that, Kia says she both say masochist and sadist. I think is what that's what it. She says she both, and that's why don't nobody want to be with her. I
right.
can't take it.
So both is what we are labeling a switch. So Kia is a switch,
Okay,
and she's both, she's both dominant and submissive, which is fairly normal in the BDSM community.
okay,
And it's a good thing because you can experience both sides of the slash, if you will.
okay. I'm sorry. So go back into why women bust nuts when you flog them. Boom.
Okay. So first, these are floggers.
Okay.
There's two of them. It can be one, but basically it's all leather,
Okay.
leather strips, and they're fairly heavy. You know, you can you can hear them. They're
It
heavy.
got some heft to it. Got a little heft.
And
Hmm.
think about think about right in between the upper back of your thigh
The
and
way you was like this, the way you.
because like I gotta I envision it, and I'm a very visual person, by the way.
Okay.
So between the upper back of your thigh and right up under your butt cheek, can you imagine someone just like constantly tapping that spot? If you're in a mood, you had a couple drinks, you feel that vibration going. Imagine that intensity and it constantly intensifying. And then there's someone talking to you, and there's someone rubbing you, and there's so it's a very erotic thing. It's not just like a wild beating of some sort, but
Okay.
it's a
Okay.
dance. It's
Okay.
a very erotic dance.
Okay. I get that. I get that. I just I can't imagine. Oh, so Kia Caramel Crunch Montgomery. I gotta say her whole name. I gotta say the whole name. She says, "Ooh wee, that 30 sting."
Yeah.
So Kia Caramel Crunch, do you like to engage in getting flogged? Are you speaking from experience about the 30 sting? Like, elaborate on what that's like. And Kia says it travels up your spine.
It
Oh,
really does.
oh, okay, girl. Okay, girl. Shit.
Jennifer says, choke me, spank me, pull my hair. I mean, whatever's
I
clever.
missed that. Okay, yeah, man. Listen, that's all right. Okay, so you mentioned that you had somebody that liked to be humiliated. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Humiliation and degradation, they most times walk hand in hand. And a lot of people think of it like, why would I want to put myself through something like that? Well, most of us enjoy it anyway and just don't want to admit it. I don't know
I
how many
mean,
times.
everybody's a little self-deprecating. I think you're right.
I mean, I've never been in bed with a woman who didn't want to be called a bitch. I mean, I don't know what that feels like to be in the bed with a vanilla woman who just wants to be stroked and loved. And no, most of the women that I deal with want me to grab their hair, and they want me to choke the fuck out of them, and they want me to, do these things to them. And you just have to like remember where you are, first of all, before I continue. With me being a kink educator and BDSM educator, I have to say that kink is based on consent. Everything is consensual. Nothing is done without communication and acceptance and agreement. There is a negotiation with every scene because of the taboo things that we're in. Consent
Okay.
is absolutely necessary. If someone cannot say yes or no, then it does not happen. There's no, I'll think about it, or maybe. We can't even go that far. Everything has to be a yes or no negotiation because of the things that we're into. Very important.
Okay.
Safe,
Consent is huge.
sane, consensual. It's safe, sane, consensual.
Safe, sane, and consensual.
Right. Did I
Got
cover
you.
that good? Look, did I cover that clear? I covered that real good.
Covered that. So tell me about the one that likes to be humiliated or whatever the
So
fuck.
the humiliating part about it is most people like to be called the bitches and the sluts and the things like that. Well, I had a male submissive who enjoyed not only being slapped in the face, but being, pushed in the chest and being called a nasty motherfucker and just like different things that you can imagine, being walked on all fours and being, kicked over. Like some people really like to take a beating. Some women, even to put it in more perspective, a lot of the submissives that I've dealt with that are women like to be humiliated, name wise, like to be pushed around and, go do this. And, they really want to be put into a space of shit, pure pleasure. They want to be bullied. My safe word is stop. Actually, if you want to talk about safe words, my safe words that I usually deliver to my bottoms are the stoplight system, which a lot of people know. It's a very basic and, you know fail-proof system. Green means go. If
Right.
I'm doing something on you and I say how are you and you say green, I'm going to give you the thumbs up and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. If you say
Right.
yellow, I'm going to slow down the intensity and then I'm going to check on you more because I'm going to talk to you throughout this entire thing just to make sure you're okay. And then if you all of a sudden scream red, I'm going to stop immediately, put my weapons down, put my implements down.
Weapons. Listen.
Well, think about it. Your hands are weapons if you ball them up and you hit somebody with
Yeah, but okay.
them.
But you be having knives and stuff.
I do have knives. I have a knife right here. I have lots of knives. I have all the knives. So my knives, I like to sensory play. So a lot of people, and I didn't find this out until like later in my adult life, that a lot of people play with knives as like teenagers and young adults. And a lot of people like the way knives feel against their skin. Obviously, I won't be playing with a knife that's like so sharp it's going to be cutting my skin like butter. But there's just a certain way to maneuver the knife like across your skin and to cause like different sensation plays. Like a lot of people just like the feel of like the sharp object against their skin. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing this if I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I don't encourage that anyone else picks up any knives and run towards anyone. But it is a thing. And typically, when I have knives in my hand, I've just finished wax play. And everybody who is like just perverted likes wax play, where you light up some wax, pour it on someone. Where how do you usually get it off? How do you get it off?
Wait, what? I
Uh huh.
no. Just peel that
Mm.
shit off.
No. See, here we would just scrape it off. Exactly. Exactly. Those things. Those things, Kia Johnson.
Hmm. So Scott just said hot wax and back scratch. That's what he
Yeah.
said.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. For hot wax, and I mean, it's a good.
So okay, the guy. I can't imagine wanting to be humiliated or wanting to, I can't imagine that. Like
Mhm.
even with all of the stuff that you're telling me, like, because look, I'm huge with words. Words, excuse me,
Right.
words have power. I don't like unkind words. and I'm not gonna speak anything over myself just for the fuck of it,
Right.
right? However, people do be liking that shit, right? And I say if people like it, then you know. So Kia says throw in a little electro play, and yes, Lord,
Oh,
electro play.
wait, Kia, you say electroplay? Of course. See, Kia lives here in this city, and she knows. So a little electroplay.
So what is you doing with that?
So, and I wish Kia was here to talk with me too about it. So the electroplay can be used for several different things, but as you can hear it, you can see it, it does have electricity flowing through it. It's called a violet wand. And let me see, let me turn it off so you can see off, on. So it has different intensities, but typically it's for sensation play. And
Oh,
I
hold on. Let me take that comment off. They can't see. Do it again.
can you see that?
I definitely can see it. I can see the electricity.
Okay,
Yo,
so
like, so here's the thing. Somebody's gonna look at that and be turned on. Someone is gonna look at that and be like, "Oh
right.
shit,
So there's two people, both
Kia,
Kias on the timeline right
both the
now
Kias."
are yes.
Oh
See,
my gosh.
that's how that's how like common it is now to have these types of things. It only takes about 10 people in a room for someone's 2 to 3 people to admit that they like it. Most people won't talk about it or have a conversation because of perception. And, I don't really care what people think at this point. You know, I do what I want because this is what I enjoy doing. But, oh yeah, nipple clamps. So I do like nipple torture. But I prefer using either Kia, use clothespins. Those will do you wonders. Definitely.
Listen, my nipples are everything to me. It is just as important as down below. It like if a person is not good with my nipples, they will not get any further with me straight up, right? So I can't imagine bringing them any type of like electricity or any type of like I just can't imagine.
I think it's how you do it. I don't think that it's necessary. I think that in the correct setting with the correct person, I think it's how you do it. It's how you present certain things. Because for me, I can talk to you, and that's kind of like my dominant laid back personality. Like I can sit and just talk to you and say things like, I really want to have you experience something. I just want to put this on your nipples and I want you to tell me how this makes you feel. I'm going to start off very slowly and I'm going to take my time. And if it's uncomfortable, you just let me know. But I'll make sure that at the end, you're very comfortable. And if I need to massage you or, I don't know, voicing your nipples with my mouth, whatever I need to do to make that happen. But I'll make sure that you're taken care of. You want to try this? You want to try it? Just a little bit?
I see you. I see you. You got a little mouthpiece on you. I see you. You talk to bitches out they drawers and shit. I see you. I see
I
you.
wouldn't say all of that. I would say that I know what the hell I'm talking about. That's what I would say. That's the important part.
Kia
You
said,
know what? I did bring my floggers out, so I am going to bring my floggers out so I can show you that type of stuff because I think a lot of people like the floggers and
"Oh my bad. I didn't mean to make that all. I wish somebody would do mine.
do.
The hair glue is that good." So Kia, since you said you want somebody to do yours, do you only get into the BDSM with men? Have you ever done it with women, or no? That was a question for Kia Johnson. Scott said ice torture or blindfold you and drip ice water on you.
That's
That's
yeah.
not that actually doesn't sound like torture. That's the thing. That
It
doesn't
is
sound like
torture when
torture
you're
to me.
blindfolded.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you mean. I see what you're saying.
it's sensory deprivation and sensory play.
Uh,
See, one of the things that I like to do is, and don't tell nobody I told y'all this, right? It's an age-old secret. So I have a collection of glass. Can I say this on the air? Glass
dildos.
dildos. I have a collection of glass dildos, right?
What do they do for you? Okay, we'll get back to that. Go ahead.
So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take one right before you're getting ready to have some fun. Take one, dip it in some water, put it in a Ziploc bag, or on a napkin or paper towel, sit it in your freezer.
Mm.
And so when it's time to use it, just run and get it. It takes no time at all. Just run and get it. And then insert and use it. Use it for whatever pleasures you want to use it with. But that right there is a great time.
A good glass dildo gonna run you about $150.
No. A good glass dildo is gonna run you about shit. I keep forgetting where y'all are. No, y'all need to. I had to put some on my site. But a good glass dildo is gonna cost you about $65. Yeah, it
Oh
has
yeah,
glass. Oh yeah, $65. I know what you look. Jamila know. She know about that glass.
Jamila know a lot about a lot.
Yeah,
First of
temperature
all,
play. Exactly, temperature play.
nice.
It's a fun time. Sure is.
I want to know something about. So I want to see. I listen. I don't want to do it. I'll watch though.
You
Listen,
gotta watch.
I'll watch. I love watching. I love hearing. I'm very auditory as well.
Oh yeah, me too.
Super auditory. I
Me too.
can like
God.
hearing it is everything.
Oh my God, auditory stuff just like buckles my knees.
And it's why I don't watch certain things. I'm very careful to the shit that I listen to. I can't listen to like um I don't watch violent shit. I can't listen to like rape or torture or because I hear it for 3 or 4 days. Like I just
Right.
can't do it. So, but when it comes to sex, like, and it's why I can't fuck with inauthentic porn either. Like that shit gotta sound like they are enjoying it. It
Right.
can't sound fake or I'm on to the next. I don't like that shit.
Right.
Uh, what you do? What you about to do? What you about to do?
I'm just talking. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit and grab
Kia
my phone.
said, Kia said, temperature play, done it. Drink ice cold water, suck some dick. Then drink hot ass tea, suck some dick.
No, I don't want to suck. No, I'm not doing
Go
all that.
back and forth.
No, that's not what I'll be doing.
She said she going back and forth.
Yeah, I won't be. Not what that's for. I usually use my temperature play with toys. Yeah.
Turn to the side. Turn to the side right quick. Okay. That's all. Go ahead.
Really.
Thank you kindly.
I do a little bit.
You do a lot.
So these are my floggers. Ooh, I want some of that.
That's definitely what she said.
Ooh, I want some. I almost gonna put the floggers down and be like, pass it. So these are my floggers. They're very fluid. They're in my hands. Takes obvious practice because they're heavy as hell. They're like the equivalent of having a bunch of little whips on one stick.
Mm-hmm.
And I can do it as light as I can, or as light as I want to, or like as stern as I want to. So um, depends on if you like thuddy or stingy pain. And a lot of the masochists and sadists will know what that means on the sound line. Who likes
I can imagine what it means. Study would probably mean something that's more hard or something, and stingy is more like light whips or some shit.
Yeah, so the stingy gives a sharper like pain intensity, and the thuddy gives more of a like a like a smack. You know,
That's that. But all of them are the contact that you like.
that's a thuddy.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Right. That's a thuddy pain.
You're doing it kind of hard, no? Okay.
No, it's like it's leather.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's why it's important to know what that is and what that means. Okay, so there's a few people here who enjoys stingy pain and who enjoys study pain, and who identifies as a masochist and who identifies as a sadist, who
Oh.
identifies as both.
Oh. Okay. So let's say, for argument's sake, I'm gonna go with 30 pain,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna go with the kind that give the pain. I don't want to receive shit.
Okay.
No pain. I don't want to receive no pain ever.
Okay, so you want to be a top, so you're a top. That's what you would be considered a top, and your partner would be a bottom, obviously. And what type of what type of toys would you say that you would probably end up being comfortable with if you had to be in this situation?
Um, a flogger. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't really know. I'm gonna go with the flogger for sure.
Hmm.
And like, I just can't imagine no pain on my nipples, but you know.
Just don't even think about the nipples. Don't even worry about the nipples. We're gonna erase the nipple conversation. How about that?
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of people. I mean, it's really a la carte. Like it's whatever it is that you feel like you want to do, and whatever it is that you feel like you want to experience. I think that's what's important is that you pick and choose what it is that you want to experience, and you research it. That's literally there. She go. Nice. You literally pick and choose what it is that you want to experience. And the first thing I always tell people, if you want to know more about it, start researching. Start researching, and do your homework.
So, okay. In terms of, is this always who you are? Are you ever not in character? I guess I would say, like, for instance, do you ever like just want to get fucked? Do you ever just want to just
Yeah.
so okay, do you have relationships, or do you have like situational things?
Okay, so I'm polyamorous. I've been polyamorous 14 years. Um, and I do have relationships. I don't have a lot of relationships because my attention span is so damn short, and yeah, I lose interest very, very quickly. So,
Okay.
but I am seeing a couple people, and um, yeah, I have what my personal relationships, and then I have my dynamics, my BDSM dynamics when I have service submissives who serve me in different states that I go to and visit. And I have service submissives that have come into my home that I've trained for weeks at a time.
Talk
Um,
about that a little bit. What does that mean?
when a service or a submissive in general, the first thing you do when you're starting to talk as a top or bottom, when two people are getting together, you want to figure out if you guys are evenly yoked. You want to figure out if this is going to be a good match. And so you kind of go through what's called an interview process or like a getting to know you period. Not necessarily a dating period, but a getting to know you period. And the
Mm-hmm.
getting to know you period, the dating getting to know you period identifies whether or not you should move on or move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Once that's done, then the next step is okay, so we're evenly yoked. This is what we want to do. And for me, I've found a lot of submissives who aren't necessarily experienced. And so, because I have a training background, my background is human resources and criminal justice, which obviously makes sense.
Go figure.
I'm just an authoritative person. So, going back over here. But for me, I like to train the people who are interested in serving me. And by serving me, that's a whole nother thing in kink, where dominance and submissives go together because they have something to give to one another, right?
Right.
Every relationship is give and take.
Will you ever see two dominants together?
Yeah, absolutely. You
What are
have
they
to
doing for each other?
um, bounce ideas off of one another, grow, build, respect one another. But I mean, for the most part, it's funny. So I have a male
Do they
partner.
fuck one another? The dominants?
Mhm. I mean, I have a male partner who is a male dominant. I like to
Hmm.
get fucked. Like that's gotta happen. Like that's gotta happen. But for me, um, I am dominant with all of my female partners. I have two female partners, and like I'm usually dominant with women and submissive men, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And so my way of like relinquishing and being able to like calm that is having a personality that's bigger than mine, like somebody who can actually calm me and soothe me. So yeah, we have relationships, and dominance can be, dominance can be together, and people can serve more than one dominant. And yeah, all of it is really intricate. This is why I had to start a business because so many people had so many questions that I had to start doing like online coaching. Yeah.
Wow. What's your favorite thing to do right now in all of BDSM? Out of kink, out of sadist, masochist, whatever the fuck. What's your favorite thing to do? Is it gonna be to a woman or to a man?
You know what? Honestly, some would think that it's the more physical kinks, but for me, it isn't. It's the control kinks, like being able to have so much respect that someone wants to sit at your feet and serve you in whatever capacity you see fit. That
Oh, are you a narcissist?
I'm not, but I really I like service. I like that a person feels confident enough that I can make decisions for them without failure.
Mm, that's very interesting.
It is. It is. So it just is. And I've never asked one person to be submissive to me. Not ever. For me, it's about leadership and responsibility, living with integrity. And because people know how I live publicly. Most of the shit that you want to know about me is going to be on my Facebook page, my Instagram page. You can find me anywhere. Um, and because people have known me for over a decade, they trust and know how I move, and I move like a right person. And when you move like a right person, people don't mind understanding their role and proceeding as such.
So you just like to feel powerful over people.
I am powerful over people. People need to be led. What are you talking about? No, honestly, real talk. Like I do like being in a leadership role. I do like leading, and I love that some people really need to relinquish that control and that power, and I'm that person that's gonna pick it up and make sure they use it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Damn.
I've been at it for a very long time. I mean, I was in a relationship. Me and my wife, we actually just separated in December. Me and my wife were together
I'm
for
sorry to hear
13
that.
years. Yeah, it's okay. I'm appreciative of the time we had together. It was a great time, and yeah, 13 years. I just I love relationships and I love loving, and yeah, trust and respect goes hand in hand. So you know, as long as you're trusting and building those trusting relationships, BDSM and kink is more about building trusting relationships than anything, because there's no way I'm going to be able to take this knife and rub it down someone's spine who don't trust me.
That's so true.
I'm
That's
not gonna
so
let
true.
nobody do no shit like that to me. That's for damn sure. But it's about building those
So
relationships.
you could never be a sub? You can never sub for someone?
I've subbed before. I have subbed before. I can. I don't want to. It's not something that I wake up to do. Like, damn, I really want to do this. I really like having the control of so much. See, yeah, people need to be led. I love having the control of being able to do both. But for the most part,
I do feel like leadership is needed in every relationship. I do feel like
It's
that.
necessary.
I feel like that leadership will just depend on, like, for instance, if I'm good at finances and you're good at something else, then
Exactly.
I'm probably going to lead on finances, but you'll lead on to something else. Like
Exactly.
I know, like, for instance, if I get together with a guy,
Hmm.
I'm very naturally submissive. That's
Hmm.
not something that I have to even work at, right?
Right.
However, not when it comes to shit like that. What you talking about? When we talking about kinky shit, sex, things like that,
Hmm.
like I gotta be. It can't have no pain involved. Like
Hmm. That's right.
in my mind, it can't have anything else involved, you know? And I am talking having never experienced anything like what you're talking about. So there is definitely ignorance involved because
Right.
I've never experienced it to be able to talk from a place of knowledge, right? But just the thought of it gives me anxiety. If I'm just gonna be honest with you, just the thought of that shit gives me anxiety, straight up.
And that's, I think that, and that's one of the things that you have to understand. It's like, if there's something that you have an attraction to in kink, kind of go into that direction. Don't do anything that you feel like is going to make you uncomfortable, because people live every day in kink and don't um, deal with anything painful. They don't deal with degradation. Some people just want to be nurtured or catered to, or just want to serve someone else because they want to feel included. They want to feel involved. They want to feel like they're part of the family, or they have something to give. See, Nisha Williams, pain is pleasure for me.
I know a few people like that. Like,
Yeah.
no, I get it. Like, it's a huge thing. I have a friend who is like, yo, bust me open. It's all good. It's okay if I bleed a little bit. Like, she don't care. It's so I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Like she wanna be told off when she have sex. She like it rough, rough.
I play rough. I play rough.
You seem like it.
Yeah. I like to have a little fun. It's fun. I've never had any complaints.
I believe you. I
But
believe you.
yeah, definitely. See, and she's a sub.
How long you been a sub, Nisha? You been in the game how long, Erica? I mean, I'm sorry.
What's it back
Urban Kink.
for?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been around and doing kink and BDSM about 9 years now.
Okay.
I started out in alternative lifestyles in about 2006. I started
Mm.
my swinging lifestyle. It wasn't for me. I like the environment, but I don't necessarily like want to be touched or want to, deal with people in that way. But it opened my mind to being in environments where people are comfortable being their natural primal selves. And I kind of took that and ran with it into a different lifestyle. And yeah, it's been about 9 years for me now. It's been a great
Damn.
9 years. And
Nice.
to boot, I've had mentors. Like that's one
Okay. That
thing.
always helps.
That's another thing of people. A lot of people don't talk about in BDSM, especially when a lot of people not knowing about like BDSM in our community, is that you don't just pick up a book or you just don't pick up some literature. A lot of people really deep dive into kink. Where I had two mentors before I even picked up any implements or any of this. Like I had mentors for 2 years at least before I decided to do anything kinky. Period. Um,
Like I don't even. You know what I think about when I hear degradation or humiliation? I can't get it out of my mind. You know what I think about?
what?
Like, you know, when you are looking at porn and they have it where, like, okay, when women suck dick
Hmm.
and like they choke them out with the dick,
Right.
and they're
Right.
like,
And get the face
and
fucked.
they're just fucking their face super
Yeah.
hard. I can't take it. Like it make my stomach hurt. I can't take it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be involved. I'm glad that it's fun for y'all, and that's not to say that I don't like vigorous dick sucking. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, be sloppy, be, extra spit everywhere. Great. However, do not fucking try to choke me out with it. Like, no, let me do it. I don't want you to do it.
I got it.
Let me do it. Don't fucking do it. Don't do it. I don't want you to do it.
Well,
And
it's
like,
the humiliation and degradation.
I don't want to do it. I don't want no part of
Okay,
that.
so for you, is that a hard limit?
That's a no limit. Like, you have no room. There's no leeway in that area.
No partnerships, right? Okay. All right. Fine.
I want it to be passionate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to be soft. I like, how people be like, do you like it rough or do you like it slow and easy? I'm definitely not a slow and easy type of person, but I don't want you to treat me like trash on the street either. So I guess I would just say passionate and rough, like passionately rough or whatever, but not to the point of like that kind of shit. Like,
You
that's just a
know,
lot.
it's funny you would say that because when me and my guy we would define like what our romance looked like. Um, we would sit and laugh because it's so much different than what like the typical people think of romance or like the vanilla people think of romance. And so what we thought of like when we're in our scenes and we're doing like our scenes at the different conventions or even when we're home, like that is our like that's what brought us together. Like the fact that we're two dark, sadistic, like fucking people, and that is like our pure romance. And so like to define a lot of these things is really
Wait. Your pure romance is dark and sadistic?
oh my
That's
god,
dope.
you
That's
have no
dope.
idea who you're talking to. Um,
How dark does it get? How dark and sadistic does it get?
it is pretty dark and
Are
sadistic.
you like anything short of bestiality is okay? Are you like,
I don't want to touch no animals.
no, I'm saying
That,
short of it. Anything short of that is okay.
okay, so hard limits for me would be bestiality, scat play, and bloodletting. Bloodletting is
Wait, blood
literally
what?
bloodletting is like knives and taking a knife and intentionally causing blood to surface. Like I don't want to do.
You hurting me, bitch. No. Pineapples, bitch, you hurting me.
Well, no, I mean a lot. Some of the stuff people will hurt, but people are okay with it. But I don't want you to inflict. Some people. So there's needle play where people are taking needles and like they're lacing them up and things like that. So there's different. Like again,
Like they sewing their skin?
not sewing their skin. You ever seen black stitch lacing, almost
Yes.
like okay, so like a corset lacing, but
Yes.
taking the ends of them and their needles on the end, and they're lacing. Yeah, it's
Oh.
body modification. There's so much to see.
First of all,
See, look, Marshawn knows exactly what. See, I'm trying to tell you.
listen. What I'm saying is pineapples, bitch.
I don't want.
Don't
I don't want.
don't I don't want you to do it. Like, I and
Remember
listen,
consent.
there
Remember
was a
consent.
time, there was a time, I ain't gonna lie to you. The reason why I feel the way I do is because there was a time when I actually threw up on the dick. It was too aggressive. Like, I was too, and
I mean,
and so I am, I'm triggered. It's traumatization, right? So
right.
don't be aggressive with the penis with me. Don't do that. Like, don't hold it. Don't hold my head. Don't fucking touch my head. Actually, let me do it. But
Let me do
no,
it.
I can't do it.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Let me do it.
Alexia says it's different levels for everyone because I enjoy a bullwhip, but I can't do animal play.
Ooh, a
A
bullwhip.
bullwhip? What's that?
Those are
What a bullwhip look
beautiful.
like?
Well, shout out to Alexia Moore, who takes a nice bullwhip. Hopefully, now if you like a bullwhip, that means you like a single tail. So
Wait, what? Wait. What's a single tail?
it's another form of whip.
Do you have one?
I do not have any whips. Well,
Damn it!
I actually do have. whips downstairs, but not the type of whip that she has. I have my different. I have a case of stuff that I travel with. So I have paddles, I have spiked wheels, I have all kind of stuff. But that's why I do my traveling shows, because I want to be able to show everybody in person all of the things that they can get into safely. You just looking like
I'm
what?
just looking. I'm taking it all in. So, okay, Nisha say she like whips and paddles. That's
Hmm.
her shit. Um, okay. So a cat of nine tails. I know what that is.
Hmm.
I know what that is. I can't bring up how and why because that's not the right setting, but yeah.
It's like a whip. The cat of nine tails is almost like a whip, but it has nine tails, and mine's have balls.
Yours have balls?
These are called falls.
Falls. Okay. Okay. What else you got right there that you can show us right around there? We want to see some shit.
Um, I don't think I have anything up here other than my knives and my floggers and my electricity things. Like I even have electric floggers.
Oh, look at what Alexia said. She said she's training to be a dom. She believed to be a good dom, you have to submit first.
Hi,
Jesus.
D Bear. Shout out to D Bear, who is in our community. So a lot of people, especially a lot of old guard people, and old guard is just like the older training of thinking and conditioning for dominance back before us new folks came about. A lot of people believe that in order to lead, that you have to know how to follow, and you have to know how to submit. I don't necessarily agree to that, because if you're not naturally a person who wants to submit or to follow, if you're naturally a person who has a dominant personality, it really wouldn't behoove you to jump backwards into that. Some people naturally are just great leaders. Um, but taking direction and great criticism is very essential and very important for something like that.
Wow. That
Yes,
shit
the real
crazy.
life. Thank you so much for joining, sir. Can you tell us what implements are your favorite? So D Bear is a sadist from, I believe, Texas, who is in our community, in our kink community. Like I said to y'all, it is a lot of us.
It's a community, y'all. It's a kink community.
Oh, it's a lot.
Hey, D Bear.
We actually have a convention coming up in Baltimore, which is typically where we are: Texas or Baltimore, Atlanta, and Miami. So we
Just
have
a
one
bunch of
coming up in
kinky
Baltimore.
niggas in one place.
Man, and but you know what? It's more like going to your grandmama house, except for they not. Well, I guess some of the people might be family. One of the first experiences I had in going to one of the kinky conventions was pulled up in Baltimore. I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning, off the road, coming from Cincinnati, going to this kink convention. Pulled up at the Aloft in Baltimore. We pulled up to like Trick Daddy playing or some shit like over like the overhead speaker outside. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So I go in, and there's tons of us looking just like this. Some people with ears, some people with just different leather get ups, but all of us this shade, kicking it. No arguing, no fighting, no disagreeing. People are being respectful. People are,
Sex is the great equalizer.
when I
Sex is the
tell you,
great equalizer.
it's amazing. The energy in the space is amazing. It's like being amongst a big kinky family that you've never seen before, except for you keep going.
Oh, I have a question.
Yes.
I didn't ask this. How often does it lead to sex? The sub dom thing.
Whenever you want it to. If that's what the consent is, if that's what the communication or the interaction is negotiated to lead to, then that's what it is. A lot of people intertwine the two.
D Bear said favorite. My
My hand.
favorite is my hands.
Yep.
That's what D Bear said.
You will get a lot of dominance saying that my hands are my favorite. And to be honest, like I love spanking, but like in the core of like when two like experienced kinksters are in a room, like it's like I love using my hands. I love using my hands, and so I totally get that.
And you like to spank.
Oh yeah,
So okay, so if spanking is the favorite thing, what's the next favorite thing that you like to do?
I would have to say that's so hard to say. I would have to say that the controlled orgasms would have to be like my second favorite.
Well, to explain that.
So, controlled orgasms or edge play allows you to bring someone constantly to orgasm
Hmm.
and um, and basically restrict their ability to come. So, getting them basically worked up and letting them know that it's not okay for you to experience that, not right now. So, controlling whenever it's time for them to come.
Nope.
Mhm.
But okay, that's what's up.
Bringing them there,
What
bringing
does
them there, bringing them there, and then stop it. Then bringing them there and bringing it and then stop it. And then finally letting them have it.
and it does, I guess it makes the orgasm way more intense.
Way more intense. And yes, it's a good time. And then because you can use different things. You can penetrate, you can not penetrate, you can see Shar likes forced orgasms. I told
Come in.
Can I use this?
Of course.
Thank you. So yes, forced orgasms. I think edge play and orgasm control is everything. Being able to deny someone the ability to come until you feel like they're ready. See, edging is great.
Wow.
So
Interesting. I'm learning so much.
you
I'm
can
learning so
imagine
much.
some of the stuff that happens at my demos. Like some of my audience members be more than willing. Like people, when I first come into a room, people are usually like sitting like this, looking around, trying to figure out what's happening. By the time I finish, people are like, "Hey, I want to try that thing that you said, the other thing over there. I want to try that first." It always happens. The
So
whole
you be doing it to the people that be in the audience.
it yeah. So it depends on what they're looking for. Like so, they're looking for something like a flogging or me to use the paddle or to experience anything like that I have the sensation play that I've allotted to set up, then yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. I encourage the people in my audience to at least try one thing that they've never tried before.
Wow.
Mhm.
I mean, because what's the use of going if you're not gonna do something new?
What's the use of going if you're not going to experience something new? And most people go because they want to experience something that they've wanted to experience before.
It's true.
It is. And it's fun. It's fun. It's being around a bunch of adults who are thinking about the same things, who have some of the same questions. And at the end of my show, so many people exchange information and really grow within themselves. And I've had people that saw me at events who have been following me since these events, and I've seen like how they've grown not only into kink, but really just becoming more confident in who they are and their ability to like control pleasure.
Hmm. Wow. This is all very freaking interesting. I'm loving it. We've
And
been going like over an hour. Did you know that?
we have been going how long?
An hour and 13 minutes. About an hour, maybe hour 10
So
minutes.
yeah, that's what usually happens to my lives and when I do stuff like that. But I mean, it's really good to see that a lot of people. I'm even looking in the chat, like a lot of people are like identifying, and a lot of people are really understanding where they are in kink.
Yeah. So Marcel says that venturing off into curiosity has to align with character and standards. Absolutely. And I
Absolutely.
think that goes back to what you were saying with consent, right?
Exactly. BDSM is strongly, strongly, strongly based on consent, um, safe, sane, and consensual. When we go to these events, one of the good things that happen is we get to meet people who are like us. And so we get to negotiate these sessions or these scenes, or what we call them. And so we basically have a conversation, and one of the first things we have to know is anatomy. Who in the
Right.
world wants to take time to learn anatomy? People who want to do what we do. So I have to ask you, have you been in any recent car accidents? Have you broken any bones? Have you had any recent surgeries? Do you have any nerve ending issues? Like I have to ask these questions because I can't negotiate a scene and do things to you and trigger you and cause something unhealthy to happen. So it's a huge conversation just to have a scene. Like,
Y'all filling out questionnaires like the doctor. I'm here
yeah,
for it. I'm
yeah, we
here
have
for it.
contracts. There are people
Yeah.
who do contracts and everything. Like you have to understand the severity and not necessarily of what you're getting into, but we want to make sure that this person doesn't change their mind at the end of a scene, right?
Right. Right.
See,
Right.
you have to make sure. So, in saying all of this, one of the things that we have not hit that we haven't touched on is like after all this is said and done, I done brought this girl to my house and I done put wax all over her body and I done scraped it off with a knife and I done took my floggers and gave her a nice flog and then I done spanked her. Like after all of this is said and done, at the end of the night, there's what's called drop.
Okay.
So that means your endorphins, they're heightened during all of this play, during all of this pleasure, all of this play. Your endorphins are heightened to a point where you're not really thinking about a whole lot other than pleasure. Like
Okay.
you're thinking about being in the scene in a moment. When the scene
Right.
is over, you start to drop. Your endorphins start to drop, and you
Okay.
then have to process what the fuck just happened.
Okay.
So what happens when you have to process what just happened? If
Huh.
you suffer from mental illness, this can reflect what looks like depression. And so it's important that when you are allowing someone to top you or bottom for you, that they are able to receive adequate care. Yeah, see, subdrop. They're able to receive adequate care from either the person who has topped them or they are strong enough to put themselves in a space of self care mode where you can talk to them away from where they are. So typically, if I do a scene in Baltimore and I come back home to Cincinnati, I'll contact that person and say, hey, how did you like the scene? How you feeling? What's on your mind right now? Are you feeling like any thoughts of depression? Have you been drinking water? I need you to eat something that's more fatty because you lost a lot in that scene. Like aftercare, you sweated a lot. I want you to take a bath for me. Can you take a bath for me and have, I don't know, some ground beef? You want to make sure that this person is taking care of themselves and put them right where they were before this scene happened. That's what a good dominant does. A good dominant makes sure that the person's mindset is reset and that they're understanding and processing what just happened.
Wow.
Very important.
Hmm.
This is why education is important because you can't just pick up something and beat somebody's ass. You have to know the psychology and the experience and what it entails and how to make sure that you're directing it in a safe space.
D Bear says I check in for weeks after.
See, and that's awesome. That is so awesome. Like having those conversations are necessary, absolutely necessary. Being able to check on these people. For me, one of my personal favorite things that I'm known for is I deal with a lot of essential oils. I'm an energy
Okay.
person. I'm very energy sensitive.
Okay.
So if someone is feeling down, I'm not necessarily an empath, but when I don't absorb the energy, I can feel the energy and I kind of know how to deal with it and redirect it. And so typically people will come to me for aromatherapy, um, like solvents. When I'm done with the scene, one of the things that I do is I rub rosemary on my bottoms because it helps them like refocus. Like they'll constantly smell that on their temples, and they'll constantly smell it on them. So they can refocus. They can kind of get back into the jog of things. Or I'll say, I'm going to leave some lemongrass with you because I want you to do this. Or I want you to take a bath with lavender today because I want to be able to manipulate and make sure that I'm directing your mental state right now. I want you to be in a relaxed mental state. I don't want you to, continue to be running everywhere.
Right.
So that's important too, just like knowing what that aftercare looks like D Bear said. And like you said, he does it for weeks on end. So
That's crazy. But I bet you the people who trust, him are
mhm.
his subs forever because he provides that type of care, so they
Oh,
trust him.
oh,
You know.
absolutely, absolutely. One of the pieces, like everybody's aftercare is different. So aftercare can be anything from cuddling to sex to baths to cuddling with your stuffies. Um, it can look like anything that comforts you. Now, are you making sure that it is according to your partner's plan as well? Yes. So the self care plan is essential, and because I don't do a lot of pickup play for this reason, because you have to figure out what people's self care and their aftercare plans look like. And when you're in an event, you're going to be doing different scenes. And so making sure the aftercare is done for each individual person is a lot. So you have to make sure that you're careful about how many people you take on. But knowing is one of the things that I typically ask when I'm vetting someone for scening. So when people say that they're interested in having that experience with me, I'll ask them what their aftercare aftercare and their self care plans look like. Because if they don't have one, that might be an issue.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. You have to make sure that you're protected and the person that you're dealing with is protected.
Hmm.
So we have fun and games, but you can't be an idiot and just do it.
Right. Somebody said up here, hold on. Nisha said there are some fake doms out there who cause injury to their subs. Nisha
Well,
said that. Naisha or Nisha, I'm not exactly sure which
okay. So this happens quite a bit, and this is one of the more controversial topics in BDSM. That these people, they come into the lifestyle and they wear the title of dom and they're not dominant at all. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're just trying to get some ass. What I like to say
one. I
to
can see
them
that.
is it happens in any ballroom that you're going to. Anybody who's looking to court, anybody who's looking to hook up, people lie. So here, that's one thing. Number two is um, I'm about accountability. You have to be accountable for what also happens to you. So, making sure that you're properly vetting the people that are going to be interacting with you. For me, I come with references, and I always encourage people to ask for references. If it's someone that
She
you
said, check
know,
my references. She
oh,
said,
I'm doing it.
listen, check
Yeah,
my references.
check my
It's
references.
okay.
If a person who says they are part of the kink community cannot produce references, then you do not mess with them. You don't do it. It's a no-no, because what happens when this person beats your ass and you have no one who has backed up any of their experience or their education or their knowledge or even
Damn.
meeting them? Right. You just hurt
Got you.
yourself. Is what you just did.
Got you. Got you.
So for me, I come with references. Everybody that I know, D Bear absolutely comes with references. Everybody I know, Crunch Montgomery, she comes with references. We all come with references because we are in the BDSM community, and we have to let people know that we are safe players.
Now, before I shut this off, I would like for you to let people know where they can find you. Um, your social media, let them know your website, all of that good stuff. So if they do want to, take have some private time, do some counseling or whatever it is, some coaching, like let them know where to find you.
Okay, cool. Well, it has been a pleasure. I can't wait till we do this again, first of all. And I'm Urban Kinkster. I can be found pretty much on any social media platform. So on Facebook, um, I'm also Urban Kinkster on Facebook. On Instagram, I'm Urban Kinkster. On Twitter, I'm Kinkster Urban. But if you just look up urbankinkster.com or you go to urbankinkster.com, which is my website, you'll find me there. And all of my platforms are interlocked, so you can't help but find me any place you go. But the good place to start, go to Instagram, look up Urban Kinkster, and you'll find me there. Yep, Urban Kinkster.
So y'all check her out. Thank you so much for spending all of this time with me. We will do this again. Um, Thank you. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. It's been fun. We will talk, and we'll have some more exciting things. And maybe next time I'll just do just a silent thing where I just do a demo or something and do some wax or something.
Whatever it is that you would like to do, it is totally up to you.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a blessing. And thank you, Jen. I love you guys. I can't wait to come to California so we can really just like, oh, it's going to be so fun.
For sure. For sure. And y'all catch me in the morning for Wake, Bake, and Chat. I'll be with Marcel in the morning at 8:30. We're going to talk about shit. We're going to get into some shit. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Y'all sleep good. Love y'all. I swear I do.